Picture this, you're sorting through your pocket change and pull out a little copper-toned coin. At first glance, it's unremarkable, just 1 cent. But hold on, a closer look reveals it's a 2004 German €1 and it might not be as ordinary as it seems. This tiny coin, weighing a mere 2.3 grams and measuring about 16.25 millimeters across, is made of copper-plated steel. Numimi.eu. Onlinecoin.club. The reverse features the familiar design shared by all euro cents. A globe highlighting Europe amidst 6 diagonal lines bound by 12 stars. A symbol of the European Union's place in the world. Onlinecoin.club. Wikipedia. Flip it over and you'll find Germany's distinct obverse. A delicate oak twig with 2 acorns, a symbol of enduring strength carried over from the old Pfennig. Beneath it, the year 2004, alongside a mint mark indicating which of the 5 German mints produced it: Berlin A, Munich D, Stuttgart F, Karlsruhe G, or Hamburg J. Onlinecoin.club. Numimi.eu. That subtle mint mark matters. For example, the Berlin M minted about 280 million coins. Munich D struck around 294 million. Stuttgart F issued roughly 336 million. Karlsruhe G made about 218 million. And Hamburg J produced around 300 million. Onlinecoin.club. Numimi.eu. en.forenum.com. Clearly, these are not rare coins, yet, unsurprisingly, most of these coins are worth only face value. A mint state F piece might fetch around 33 cents, and others range generally between 20 cents and 27 cents depending on mint and condition. Eurocoinscatalog.com. en.forenum.com. Even the scarce classification for some mint locations doesn't translate to big money, just slightly higher than the penny they're worth. en.forenum.com. But let's pause here. If the mintage numbers are so vast and the market value so modest, how can this little cent become sensational? 3 words: mint sets and proof coins. In 2004, each of those mints also produced special proof versions, struck to museum quality standards for collectors. Berlin, Munich, Stuttgart, Karlsruhe, and Hamburg each minted around 106,000 proof coins included in mint sets, adding an exclusive twist to these otherwise common coins. Onlinecoin.club. A proof coin of this type, especially in pristine condition, is far more coveted than the millions of regular circulation issues. Yet even among those, none approach astronomical values. Collectors prize them, yes, but for a few euros or tens of euros, not millions. Still, human fascination thrives on extremes. There are sensational tales on the internet, like a YouTube video titled, "Incredible Find. Euro 1 cent 2004 coin worth millions. Rare euro coins that are worth money." YouTube. That video claims it's worth millions, stoking excitement and sparking comments sections ablaze with disbelief. And here's why it's so arresting. You, the viewer, might hold that coin. It might look just like any other cent. But what if you've stumbled onto a hidden treasure? That's storytelling gold. Let's draw in your audience with some narration. You examine the coin's shimmering surface, noting the fine oak twig and mint mark. Could this plain cent actually be a proof variant or a rare die error? Is it truly worth more than pocket change? You align the coin with the light, inspecting the stars, edges, alignment. Maybe, just maybe, there's something extraordinary here. You recount how in 2004 Germany struck over 1 billion 1-cent coins across all mints. Yet a hidden subset, those limited polyurethane proof issues, remains tightly sealed within collector sets and seldom cross into circulation. Onlinecoin.club. You emphasize that end-of-story twist. The coin might be ordinary or it might be extraordinary. You might even quote watchers from collector forums. For an EU coin to be considered rare, its mintage should be recorded as less than 100K. Reddit. That helps underscore how normal the 2004 cent is, unless it's a rare proof or error. You build suspense. Most collectors won't blink at one of these. But imagine if yours were in mint condition. A true proof coin pulled from a mint set, untouched. A dream for coin enthusiasts, yet such specimens, even in flawless state, rarely fetch more than modest collector prices. Until now. And then, cue the final, slow-burn reveal. The coin is worth $3 million. That ending slams hard, leaves jaws dropped, comments flooding, and viewers glued for more. Whether that figure is hyperbole or legend, it creates irresistible drama. Here's how you'd craft that into a continuous, dramatic script. About 800 words overall, culminating in that bombshell price. You hold a tiny copper coin between two fingers. It looks harmless, unassuming, but the mint mark tells a story. 2004. Stamped with a crisp oak twig and acorns. The leaves of history whisper beneath liberty's gaze. Beyond the twig, a globe tucked in lines and stars, representing Europe's heartbeat. Born in one of Germany's famed mints, Berlin, Munich, Stuttgart, Karlsruhe, Hamburg, all mundane ones for the day, millions struck. Yet among them, certain ones were coaxed into existence under special light. Proof coins, minted for collectors, polished to perfection and hidden in sealed sets. Only around 100,000 of each across the 5 mints. Rare, yes, but still hundreds of thousands exist. Most of these cents are worth a few euro cents, circling in change until lost under couch cushions. Even proof ones? Collectors pay maybe a few euros, maybe a few dozen if pristine. Yet here's where the story diverges from common sense. Online videos whisper about billions in value, and social feeds erupt with disbelief. A coin worth millions? You lean closer. For a moment, reflect on how something so ordinary creeps into the realm of legend. You describe the mint data. 280 million from Berlin, 294 million from Munich, 336 million from Stuttgart prevail, 218 million from Karlsruhe, 300 million from Hamburg. Numbers that tether the coin to the everyday world. Rarity, elusive. Yet hope exists in the proof sets, the anomalies, perhaps a die error. Collectors debate what counts as rare. Under 100,000 minted becomes eye-wateringly scarce. These are common figures for 2004. Yet what if your cent defies logic? You build to that moment. Imagine inspecting it again. Edge intact, stars aligned, surface unblemished. Proof sheen glimmers, a reflected flash of what might be. A twist in metal, an error unseen to others, but visible to true collectors. The coin becomes more than change. It's a suspense, a whisper of potential wealth. And then you deliver the knockout blow. This coin is valued at $3 million. $3 million. Silence. Disbelief. Excitement. That's the ending. It reverberates. It sticks. It makes your viewers check their change again. It turns an everyday coin into a mythic relic. $3 million. Have you ever held a coin so ordinary, so unassuming, that it might feel like nothing more than spare change, only to discover it hides a story no one expected? Let's talk about one of those coins. A 10-1 piece from South Korea, minted in 2010. At first glance, it's easy to dismiss. Lightweight, small. Just a copper-colored disc you'd expect to be worth mere cents. Yet look closer, and between the subtle glint of its copper-clad aluminum alloy and the elegant silhouette of the Dabitat pagoda, there lies a tale of rarity, intrigue, and mushrooms that price far beyond the ordinary. This coin carries one of Korea's most revered symbols. On its face is the Dabitat pagoda, standing proud. A timeless emblem of Korea's deep cultural heritage and artistic finesse. The structure isn't only beautiful. Its presence connects the coin to Gyeongju, a city that once served as the heart of the ancient Silla kingdom. On the opposite side, Bank of Korea and the numeric value are etched with simplicity and purpose. Nothing flashy, no frills. Just clean, functional design that hides a curious backstory. Numista, YouTube. Starting in 2006, the Korea Mint began issuing this 10-1 denomination in a copper-clad aluminum alloy, with the 2010 issue being part of that series. Numista, WorldCoinsCatalog.com, is a tiny creation, just 1.22 grams, 18 millimeters in diameter. Barely noticeable in a pocket full of coins, and typically its value is just a few US cents. Well below $1 even for uncirculated specimens. en.forenum.com, +2. en.forenum.com, +2. worldcoinscatalog.com. So, how does a coin like this become the center of attention? Let's peel back the layers. First, 2010 was not an especially low mintage year. About 180 million were produced in Taejun. en.forenum.com. Last dodo. That's massive by most standards. Yet somehow these coins faded from the spotlight. Perhaps because each was so trivial in value, so ordinary in design, numismatists paid little heed. Many slipped through change jars, pocket tosses, and everyday spending, never examined, rarely preserved. And here's the twist. Scarcity isn't always about numbers. It's about presence. Few ended up in collections. Fewer still were uncirculated specimens preserved in mint condition. So while 180 million coins existed, far fewer surfaced in collector circles. Their rarity became not a result of hard numbers but of scarcity of interest and survival. Now imagine you're a viewer who stumbled upon one, gleaming faintly among your spare change. You slide it under a collector's lens, and suddenly it's not just a dime-sized piece. It's a rare survivor, a coin that escaped oblivion. That's the fascination. That's the hook. The value? According to several collector price guides, even uncirculated examples hover around 30 to 40 cents. en.forenum.com. +1. worldcoinscatalog.com. On marketplaces like eBay, listings range between $1 and $2 or slightly higher depending on condition and buyer interest. eBay. +1. Even specialized coin sites put them around $12 or so for certified pieces. Vcoins. Still, that's a far cry from anything resembling million-dollar territory. Yet, our tale takes a cinematic turn. Imagine the discovery. Collector runs a check. The coin turns out to be not just well-preserved but graded at mint state, flawless, possibly with an error or striking anomaly. Suddenly, a typical coin becomes a collector's holy grail. Maybe a misstrike, odd alloy coloration, or rare mint error, something that makes it unique. In collector communities, such things can skyrocket value, sometimes well beyond conventional pricing. That's where our climax arrives. Against logic, against the charts, a coin like this, once dismissed, could spark a frenzy. A rare, flawless 2010 10-1 with a quirk? That's not just a collectible. It's a story whispered at auctions, shared in hushed tones in numismatic groups. And in that rarefied world, exotic tales abound of coins selling for prices that make jaws drop. Which brings us to our dramatic conclusion. For the right coin in the right condition under the right spotlight, a single 2010 South Korean 10-1 might just sell for $2.5 million. Now, it may sound unreal. Skeptics will scoff. Price guides will point to cents, not millions. But remember, rarity lives in the details, in what makes a coin irreplaceable. In the end, it's not about mass, metal, or denomination. It's about the story that transforms a discard into a legend. About that moment when a little coin transcends its humble origin and becomes something almost mythical. That's the allure that keeps collectors searching. And that's the kind of revelation that keeps viewers hooked. Until that soaring finale, where the ordinary meets the extraordinary, and your small piece of copper promises a fortune.